Good morning. these people's house is turning 125 years old, so they're...
Good morning and welcome. It's time to call to order the Yamhill County Board of Commissioners formal session for August 16th, 2018. Laura, would you lead us in the pledge? Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This is the time we have set aside for invocation, and we are very fortunate to have with us a member of our community, Paul Vandegrift, and Paul lives in rural Yamhill and is vitally concerned about homeless issues not only here in Yamhill County but in other countries. So, Paul, thank you for being here.
And we actually got two little books that I could pass around or whatever, but real quick. But it's just what we've been doing for. It's actually years before I kind of got started, but they're just simple little homes that we build, and they're trucking costs and everything involved. We're about 20,000. A lot of donated materials, but by the time we're down in Mexico, we're about $20,000. Anyway, a lot of what we do down there seems, it's a long drive down, a long drive back, and we do a lot of decompressing, and it's like so many things that we could probably do right in our own communities, with the right area and spots, but it seems like we can do something. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for inviting me here today. My name's Paul Vandegrift. I'm a 41-year resident of Yamhill County. Self-employed diesel mechanic. I serve on the Yamhill Fire Protection District on their board. Yamhill Carlton FFA alumni. I'm president of our East Yamhill Water District. So I've been involved in the mission group called Equipo, which means team in Spanish, for about 16 years. The guy that started this group actually started, it was a giveaway, and he's actually been pretty involved in the Eugene village that they're building down there. You guys are probably familiar with. So anyway, I feel the work we've accomplished through Equipo has made a positive, life-changing impact helping the homeless families in Mexico. I feel it could be a beneficial solution to our homeless in Yamhill County. I hope I will have the opportunity to share it with you. So with that, let's pray. And thank you, Lord, for putting this challenge of the homeless before us. We ask for your strength, wisdom, and the resources to work through this challenge in a way that will honor you. Amen.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Paul. And look forward to working with you on all the different ways we can approach this in our county.
If I can help in any way, or I'd like to share it with you. So anyway.
Well, thank you very much.
And
we appreciate it.
Being a former member of the Yamhill FFA, today is your birthday, so happy birthday, FFA of Yamhill.
Is it?
So yes, the Yamhill Carlton FFA, this is their birthday. So.
Oh, okay.
And leave it to Commissioner Primizic to know that.
That's great.
There you go.
But it's been a great thing. My kids have went through it. I've helped before then, and I'm still kind of involved in it, even though my kids are out. But I don't want to see things fade away, and so it's been a great thing. We take raffle projects up to like Sportsman Show and the Egg Show up there in Portland, and the kids just get right in the middle of everybody. And my daughter was shy, but she kind of broke through that, so it was all good.
Yeah, well, they do a great job of helping kids really prepare for their future. It's a great organization. So.
Yeah, it makes kids passionate about animals, because we see a lot of animal abuse in the county. And
yeah.
I look now that my kids are growing up, and the passion that towards them. So, anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for being here, and thank you for your work. All righty, we will move on to public comment. Don't see that anybody has requested time to speak this morning, so we'll move on to item B, which is the agenda. So we have at this point a preliminary consent agenda. Is there any topic or any one of these?
Madam Chair, since this is a combined formal, informal, you'll have to go through, I believe, each item separately.
Okay. So we have approval of the minutes, and that would be item B1, the approval of the minutes for May 8th, 2018 informal session.
Also move.
Do we approve? Well, we'll approve them all together. Is that correct?
Yes.
Of all three.
Okay. So item B, which is July 17th, 2018 informal session, and D, July 24th, 2018 informal session. And we have a motion to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. On to item B2, contracts and grants. Consideration of approval of an agreement between Yamhill County Public Health and the Oregon Health Authority for the AmeriCorps Volunteer in Service to America, the Vista Oregon Public Health Partnership Project for work related to the Community Health Improvement Plan, otherwise known as our CHIP, with a total cash match of $17,000 for funding of the Vista member. This is something that we do typically year to year. So I will move that we approve the agreement between Oregon Health Authority, Yamhill County Public Health, and the Vista Public Health Partnership Project. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes unanimously. On to item 3, consideration of approval of an amendment to a contract agreement between Yamhill County and Sherry Matheson for Board Order 18-15, extending services through June 30th, 2019. Do we have a motion to approve?
Also move.
Okay, we have a motion to approve item B3. Any further discussion?
She's still working in solid waste area? Or
Part-time on
just
contract.
on a
Contract on an
basis?
hourly basis,
Okay.
Commissioner.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes unanimously. On to item B4, consideration of approval of a revocable license agreement between Yamhill County and the City of McMinnville for placing fiber optic cable in a public right-of-way to connect two Davis Street HHS buildings. Any discussion?
Just one question, I guess this would be for Ken and for Laura. This is with the city of McMinnville to allow us to run the fiber.
Christian would be the one
Well,
to
Christian,
direct
I'll
this
ask
to.
Christian this then. Do we have all the actual pole lease permits from City Water and Light? Because they actually have separate pole permits to put the fiber up on the poles, or if you're running underground.
Bruce Cook is handling
Right,
this
Bruce
project, so I'm sure he
He
understands.
got this paperwork from the city. Apparently, it's something they instituted in April, after they came across some private utilities buried in a right-of-way that they weren't aware of. So they put this license agreement in place. That's the first one of these that I've seen. We've been
Yeah, and I
working with the
agree,
city.
and I'm aware of the license agreement, but City Water and Light, if you're gonna run overhead poles, fiber on over, you also have to have a formal
This is
pole
burying.
agreement.
I know they're putting it in the ground,
Okay, it's
but
buried.
I imagine that
Okay,
Bruce
then
is
the
working
pole
through the
agreement is
city to
needed then. Okay,
get what he needs from
that
them.
answers my question.
Oh, we have a motion to approve?
I would so move.
All right, we have a motion to approve item B4. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes unanimously. On to item B5, consideration of approval of an agreement between the Sheriff's Office and Provoking Hope for certified recovery peer mentors for juvenile medical assisted treatment program individuals upon release from jail, not to exceed $25,000, retroactive to May 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
One comment there, Madam Chair, it's not juvenile medical assisted treatment, it's jail medical assisted treatment. So it's the JMAT program. It's in conjunction with the program the sheriff started earlier this year where they're
Okay.
extending treatment to opioid use disorder inmates
In jail.
the jail. And this is to help them transition upon release.
Okay.
And
So-
this is being overseen by the sheriff's office and not HHS?
Yeah, this is under a grant that the Sheriff's Office got directly from the Oregon Health Authority to allow them to start implementing this program directly in the jail.
Okay.
Before.
And then following up.
That's the goal, is to make sure that they have a seamless transition when they leave the jail and transition into the public health treatment options.
All right, so motion to approve.
Also move.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. On to item B6, and that's consideration of an extension to the purchase and sale agreement with the City of Dayton effective August 10th, 2018. Christian?
Yeah, the City of Dayton has just asked for a little more time to complete their due diligence on the purchase of those lots in Dayton. So that's what this letter would authorize, is extending until September 4th for them to provide their buyer's notice, and that the due diligence period in general is extended to September 10th.
Okay. All right. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Excuse me. We have a motion to approve item B6. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 The motion passes unanimously. On to item B7, committees. That's consideration of approval of the following changes to the RIAC committee: to reappoint Donald Martsolf, term to expire July 2021, and the resignation of Kristen Svekarovich, July 2018. Motion to approve?
Yes, and RIAC is a very important committee to our public works, and I'm sorry to see Kristen leave, but she's been really very, very busy with her job in Dundee, and so we're going to be missing her. But anyway, I would move approval of this.
Okay, we have a motion to approve.
Discussion?
Any further discussion?
Yeah, my only discussion is I guess this is more of a point of clarification. Reappointing Donald to 2021 to RIAC, does Martsolf Construction, does Donald do any actually road work or contract any road work with Yamhill County? And if so, does he have to abstain on any decision that RIAC makes?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know that they do. They've contracted with us on anything. I'm assuming,
I don't know either. That's why
and
I was
this
asking
is
the question.
strictly a recommendation
Advisory.
committee anyway. They don't make any decisions
Okay.
for the board. They do review our MIP plan, and but as far as the making any decisions, they're not a decision-making body, so they work in an advisory capacity only.
Then my other question, thank you, Commissioner, that answers that question. My other question, do we have any of our committees like RIAC that actually have expirations? You can only serve like 2 terms, or is RIAC a term that as long as you're reappointed, you're on? There's no
It's
expiration.
an appointment. We do not have term limits that I'm aware of on at least RIAC, and so no term limits are.
Okay.
They serve the terms that they want, and again, we have been very fortunate in the mix of people on the RIAC committee. We get input from a variety of different aspects of the community, so. So far, we haven't been out recruiting or forced to remove anybody. So.
Okay, that answers my discussion, Madam Chair.
All right, without any further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 The motion passes unanimously. On to item 8, B8. That is consideration of approval of the following changes to the Ambulance Service Area Advisory Committee, and that's to appoint Tammy Tigner, her term to expire December 31st, 2019.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Tammy Tigner to the ASA Ambulance Service Advisory Committee.
Motion to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. On to item B9, consideration of approval of the following changes to the Local Alcohol and Drug Planning Committee to serve three three-year terms to expire July 2021. to A, reappoint Brad Berry, District Attorney, to B, reappoint Jessica Beach, Department of Community Justice, and C, to reappoint Sheriff Tim Svensson. Motion to approve?
Also move.
Motion to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously. On to old business. We have none. D, other business, add-ons and non-consent items. Don't see any. Any announcements, commissioners?
Not today.
Were the add-ons, Christian, that you had already incorporated into the agenda?
That was
Okay.
B6.
Yeah.
Sorry, just losing track of
Yeah.
a lot of things. Thank you.
That was into B6. So this would be a time for commissioner updates and announcements.
Yes, one of the announcements I was going to make, I made while Paul was up here, the birthday of FFA. And Paul mentioned the strong connection between the FFA members and animals, but they do so much more, preparing young people for business opportunities, making them comfortable as public speakers. I'm just very, very excited about the fact that we have such strong FFA and 4-H clubs in Yamhill County, because they really do give our youth an opportunity to grow in those areas. So wanted to recognize that. And there was one other thing that I think is very important, and it's appropriate that it comes today because I have a meeting this afternoon. In fact, we're all going to meet with our representative, Jill Reese from USDA, but we had a Yamhill County business that was successful in receiving $250,000 in a grant from the Rural Development for Yamhill County, and that was the Coleman Vineyard. And they've had to do a 50-50 match, 50% match. So the total project cost was $499,996, and USDA brought some rural dollars into Yamhill County. And this is a program, one of the programs I was going to be talking about this afternoon, but I think it's really exciting that the USDA has significant dollars for rural America. We have 10 cities in Yamhill County, and all 10 of them qualify by population as rural communities. So anyway, there's $250,000 coming to Yamhill County because somebody took the time to write a grant application.
And was successful. Thank you, Commissioner. That's good news. Commissioner?
The only thing I have to bring up is, as Commissioner Starrett is aware, is Monday was the AOC board meeting at Resort at the Mountain. I can honestly say in the year and a half I've been commissioner that it's probably the best board meeting I've been to. A lot of serious business was discussed, and what made me feel good is almost every board member was there, so I think there was 37 people there, whatever. But the new board of AOC, I think, is taking the organization in a whole new direction, a very good direction. I think the executive board is a very, very good board headed up by Commissioner Pope from Polk County, and I think we're going to see some really, really good things out of AOC. And there is a new interim director. As you might know, Mike MacArthur retired. There is a new interim director of AOC, Michael Eliason, the legislative director, has been named the interim director of AOC.
Thank you for that update.
Thank you, Commissioner, for bringing that up, because it was I left there Monday night with a sense that the organization had a real purpose, and the commissioners that were there, to Commissioner Olson's point, I've been to a lot of board meetings where it was less than stellar attendance, and this one, given the troubles that the AOC has had, to see everybody come together and cohese in a way that I think we're going to see some real positive activities on the part of AOC. So thank you for bringing that up, Commissioner.
Thank you both. Just wanted to bring you up to speed on COG, Council on Governments, has asked for proposed legislative concepts. So I've submitted a legislative concept which would basically give the counties the option of taking proceeds from tax foreclosed properties and giving them back to the original owner so that they don't wind up more homeless people, more people in Section 8 housing, and more people in the system, so at least give them something of the equity in their homes so they can get started again. Also, Representative Noble was kind enough to say he would be sponsoring a bill in that regard. And also, we're working on, I guess the bottom line is decentralizing Department of Human Services Child Welfare, a number of different ways we can do it legislatively, locally, strategy-wise, to just improve the lives of the 100 or so foster kids and their families in this county, because as we know, the problem is not getting better, it's getting worse under the state supervision. So that also, and exciting things going on in Yamhill, Carlton with the Dome project. I toured the new buildings with Superintendent Klein yesterday, and I have to say it's a technology that is phenomenal in terms of its seismic stability and also what the kids are going to be able to experience with that facility. So if you haven't been out there, it's definitely worth a tour. So if there's nothing else for the good of the order?
I was going to suggest taking that tour with Sharon because he is so excited when he talks about it.
He's very motivated to see that building, those buildings finished.
Well, one thing I'd just like to take a minute and commend Chair Sterrett, the work that's being done that she's doing on behalf of our children, and also the legislative principle for the tax money. Those are two things that can have a huge impact, not just on Yamhill County, but the state. And with her and Representative Noble sponsoring the one, I think it's good. So I think you should be commended on all the work you do on that. Maybe we can get what's best for our children back out there. And
thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right. Well, if there's nothing else for the good of the order, we'll adjourn today's meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you.